Shalom, coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rekha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled Silence, right? Now, so let's first go into the word silence. Right? Muteness, state of being silent, absence of sound, be quiet or still, make silence, pretty much the same thing. Right? Okay. And now the state of being silent as when no one is speaking. The refusal to speak when expected. Okay, perfect. So, Amos 5 and 13. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time, right? And why are the prudent? Or first of all, the prudent are the elect, right? The prophets, the prophets, the teachers, the elders that are, the hopeful elect that are prophesying. They are the prudent, because if you're going to go to the word prudent, I'll do that too. Right? Prudent with knowledge, deliberate, knowing, skilled, sagacous, circumspect, foreseeing, right? And only the prophets have been prophesying on the corners, street corners, are the ones that have been foreseeing things before they happened, right? Foreseeing the future and prophesying about it, because the prophets are also called seers, right? So that's how you know that those are the prudent, right? And you can even click it here.
Strong's H 7919, Sachel.
Sachel. To be prudent, be circumspect, wisely, understand, prosper, right? They're circumspect because they're looking at all angles, right? You got to be, the scriptures always they say watch and pray, right? And they're wise because they know they're wise. You can tell they're wise. That's why, like, if you've ever been in camp, I notice when people walk by, their whole, they change up the way they walk. They keep their head. They don't make eye contact because they know this is a serious thing. These are wise men here. They understand, yeah, and they prosper, and they are going to prosper. One in the kingdom, but even during the time of trouble, they're going to prosper because they know what's going on. They're not freaking out. Even right now, they're prospering because they're losing their minds. Because the scriptures also say the reason why they're not losing their minds, right? Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? And they're the ones that fear the Lord, which is why they have the wisdom and knowledge, which is going to make them stable in the times of Jacob's trouble, right? And even the times we're in right now, right? So we go back to Amos, Amos 5 and 18. Oh, slacking, no. It's Amos 5 and 13. Therefore the prudent shall keep silence in that time, for it is an evil time, right? And why are they going to keep silent? Because the Most High told them to keep silent. Now the prudent are they're basically ambassadors of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? When they speak, to speak in the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So, right, you're going to wonder, like, why are they going to keep silent? Remember, the Most High is using them to push the word, right? No, so we're not going to go into that, right? So I'm going to go to Isaiah 55 and 6. Isaiah 55 and 6, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near, right? So the Most High is going to remove himself, right? And how does he remove himself? From his men, right? His men are going to stop speaking. They're going to be silent, right? That's why you're supposed to seek him when he may be found. When these men, right, can be found, like on the internet, on the streets, in camp, that's when the Most High can be found, because he's not. Everyone always expects the Most High just to appear, in some form and talk to them directly. That's not how he works. He's going to use his prophets, right? So that's what it's referring to. So there's a time where he can be found, where these prophets can be found. But as soon as famine of the word happens, you're not going to be able to find these men, because, YouTube's putting the restrictions. They're going to take down. They're already taking down videos. Famine of the word has already started, right? They're taking down videos. Eventually, it's going to be a point where you can't post anything, right? And you won't be able to be in the street quarters and doing anything like prophesying in camps. So when that happens, that's it. The Most High has removed himself. You can't find him, right? But right now, he may be found. So you got to seek him, right? Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Right? So now we're going to go to Amos again. 6 and 8. Amos 6 and 8. The Lord Yahweh has sworn by himself, saith the Lord, the power of hosts, I abhor the excellency of Jacob and hate his palaces. Therefore will I deliver up the city with all that there. Let me read that again. The Lord power has sworn by himself, saith the Lord, the power of hosts, I abhor the excellency of Jacob and hate his palaces. So the Most High hates. He hates Jake's, palaces, churches, that they have, right? Because all that stuff is wicked. Those churches are wicked. There's nothing righteous in those churches. You're not going to learn anything about the real scriptures, right? And hate his palaces. Therefore will I deliver up the city with all that there is therein. Right? So the Most High is going to deliver them up, to the wicked, right? To their enemies. And it shall come to pass, if there remain 10 men in one house, that they shall die. Right? So all of them are going to be destroyed. And a man's uncle shall take him up, and he that burneth him, to bring out the bones out of the house, and shall say unto him that is by the sides of the house, Is there yet any with thee? And he shall say, No. Then shall he say, Hold thy tongue, for we may not make mention of the name of the Lord. Right? So I read that for example, so you can see that even when things are going bad, because the Most High is going to deliver up Jacob, which is Israel, the 2/3, to their enemies, right? Things are going to go bad, which is Jacob's trouble. Things are going to go bad. People are going to be dying, right? But the prophets are still not going to be speaking, right? They're going to hold their tongue. They're not going to talk about the Lord. You're not going to be able to find them, right? Because those times people are going to be calling people that they know that are in the truth, like, hey, what do I do now? It's like, I don't know. Hey, because we already know once that happens, hey, that's it. The floodgates have opened, so to speak. So they're not going to, it's like, I don't know. Because that time we're worrying about ourselves, because we know what's coming next. So the point is that you're supposed to look for the Most High while he may be found, right? Verse 11, for behold, the Lord commandeth, and he will smite the great house with breaches and the little house with clefts. Yeah, so he's going to destroy Israel, the 2/3, right? But during that time, his prophets, you won't be able to find the Most High, because you won't be able to find the prophets. The prophets are going to hold their tongue. They're going to be silent, right? That's the whole point. Like, even if you know someone and you went to them, they're not going to say anything. Like, I don't know. Hey, you're on your own now. You didn't listen. Because that's how Israel is. When things get bad, that's when they want to look for the Most High. Micah 3:1. And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel, is it not for you to know judgment? Right? So, because these heads of Jacob and Israel, these basically the heads in Israel, basically. And you can think of it in the music industry, in the churches, etc. The top elite of Israel, even in the truth, right? Is it not for you to know judgment? And of course they have to know judgment. They are the people of the Most High, right? Who hate the good and love the evil. Yeah, they hate the good and love the evil. Like in those churches, they only preach about good things, never the bad things that are going to happen, right? And then you have these celebrities, right? They hate the good. They don't want to be righteous, but they love evil. They love doing wickedness, because that's how they got to their estate, so to speak. You know, all those riches, that fame, because they did wicked things. You're not gonna get to that level without being wicked. There's no way, right? The music industry, sports, all of it, you know, who pluck off their skin from off them and their flesh from off their bones, right? And they're doing that. The plucking off skin is like that's referring to like the knowledge of who we are, who Israel is, right? Their identity, right? These people they pluck off their skin and their flesh, right? They tell them, oh, you know, you're African, no, you're Egyptian, no, you're African American, you know, you're you know, all these other doctrines, right? These heads of Israel and princes are the ones that are pushing it onto the people. So they're plucking off their skin of their bones, right? Who also eat the flesh of my people and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones and chop them into pieces. Yeah, and they're setting them, and they're killing them, basically. They're slaughtering them spiritually, which is happening physically, right? And chop them in pieces as for the pot and as flesh within the cauldron, right? Yeah, they're sacrificing them. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. This is the point. So when all this is happening, because it's happening right now, right? It's been happening, right? Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. And when are they going to cry unto the Lord? Jacob's trouble happens, right? You know, when it really gets crazy out here, right? Because even right now they're calling unto the Lord, you know? Yeah, actually, not really. I can't really say that because people are dying in the streets, but then they go and say, you know, they say that it's, what's the word I'm looking for? They say it's the white man. You know, it's a white man, you know, he's against us, da, da, da. And it's true, right? He is against you, but you don't understand, like, the Most High is the one that's controlling this. You need to be cleaving onto the Most High. And they won't even cleave onto the Most High. They'll say it's a white man in certain areas, or they say it's another Jake, and then they'll cleave onto the so-called white man, you know, Esau, for more help, the government. Hey, help us, please help us. Right? They won't cleave onto the Most High. Right? So that's because these heads of Israel have been sending them to slaughter. Right? By taking out their identity, who they really are. If they knew that the Most High is their real power, they would be cleaving onto him. But these heads of Israel, right, these princes are not telling them that. They're telling them lies, taking their identity from them. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, Yahweh, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time. And this time is referring to as Jacob's trouble, right? Because right now he's still found. You have, like, the videos are online. You can find videos, lessons from, you know, and not even just GMS, but GMS, for example, hundreds, thousands of videos, right? They're prophesying in the streets. You can find them. You can find that they're there. The Most High hasn't hidden his face yet. But because these heads of Israel are doing what they're doing, the people are not looking for it. It's only when bad things get bad, then they're going to start looking for it. But when they start looking for when things get bad, the Most High already hid his face. He's gone. Right? That's why it says, as I read again, then shall they cry unto the Lord Yahweh, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. Right? And then that's it on that, actually. That was the point. Yeah, the Most High is going to hide his face during that time. He's going to hide his face using his men. Right? Because the Most High hasn't appeared here physically. He hasn't done that. He talks through his men, his prophets. So the time of the famine of the word, that means the Most High is gone. The time of trying to redeem yourself, it's gonna be gone. You're screwed. You're on your own, right? And now is the time to cleave onto him, because he can be found. There's videos are still being posted, and they're still taking out videos, but you can still find videos. You can watch lessons. When you can't watch any lessons, when you can't be on the camps can't be on the streets prophesying, when none of that can't happen anymore, that's when the Most High has hit his face. So yeah, I made my point. I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I like to close off by saying Ka Halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and to the hopeful elect pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Death and destruction to his wicked kingdom, and the 2/3 as well. Kwam Yasharallah, Abad Babal, Shalom.